What you got, RC?
What sort of writing utensil should I use to write Caleb Williams' name down at the #1 spot? Should I use a Sharpie then?
No,
Because I need
not
to
permanent
use
marker.
something that you can't erase, that can't wash away. You need to write Caleb Williams' name down as the #1 overall pick in as many ways as you can write it. I don't care if you use a smoke bomb. I don't care if you use a flare to write it on concrete. I've seen the dude in person. And Dan, maybe I can have this conversation with you, and nobody in the world is going to understand this. My son plays for Arizona State. They're in cover 2. Caleb Williams in the end zone throws a jump pass to the flat. To the flat, Dan, from the other hash. When he jumped up and threw it, I got out of my seat because I said it's an interception. By the way, the corner was 6'3". The dude is so disrespectful. He is disrespectful in the best way. He's just having fun. And I'm going to try to say this. Let me say this in a way that doesn't make people, because you know how people act, that doesn't make people think I'm comparing Caleb Williams to this human in the way that he approaches the game. Remember when Johnny Manziel said on his documentary, they asked him, how much study did you do when you were in Cleveland? And my dog held up the donut and said 0. If Caleb Williams decided to go play like that, he'd still be amazing. He's that much more talented than the other people playing the position or the people that he's playing against. You don't get to just throw out, and this is what you threw out, Dan. You don't get to go, oh, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. You don't get to throw those names out in describing one human and then say, oh, but write his name in invisible ink for the #1 overall pick. If you got all those people wrapped up in a weird science-like tube and Kelly LeBrock steps out, then you're happy. Pick him #1. We all know what's supposed to be happening. Pick him #1.
No. Write his name in pencil. Write his name in pencil. You can make sure you press heavily with the pencil as well. I love Caleb. I'm telling you, RC, he's not a lock to be the #1 pick. Drake May from North Carolina, people in the NFL are going to want just as much, if not more, than Caleb Williams. I love Caleb. He is outrageously talented. And I think the best quality he has are plays like this where he can be Houdini under control. Like he could be Houdini while making great decisions with the football. So often when we get quarterbacks that are these outrageous playmakers, that they get also outrageous with their decision making or also outrageous with the football. And you don't see that out of Caleb. I love him. I think he's going to win back-to-back Heismans. I'm telling you, Drake May from Carolina is equally as talented. And he is a massive monster of a man at 6'5", 220 pounds. He's a special talent. He's outrageously athletic. He's got arm talent for days. He makes every throw at every single moment. He's aggressive with the football. He's a brilliant kid, and he's competitive as heck. I'm telling you, he is at worst the 2 pick, and people will prefer him at 1. I guarantee it.
You know that we're going to have this conversation through the entire season
about
these 2 quarterbacks until draft day.
Absolutely.
You know that, right?
Well, what are the chances? You vote for the Heisman. What are the chances Caleb Williams, obviously Archie's the only guy, Archie Griffin, obviously from Ohio State, who's done it, back-to-back Heisman?
Everything Dan said is spot on. Houdini is an excellent word. I'll tell you a funny story. I sat with Caleb Williams this summer and asked him about his ability to run, and he said, I don't want to run the football. And I told Lincoln Riley what he said. Lincoln Riley laughed. He said, he's lying.
Yeah.
He loves it.
He's a tremendous kid, too.
It's his. And the thing is not about his talent. Not at all. It is about the Drake Mays and the Travis Hunter and the Bo Nix and Blake Corum and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Keep going.
There's positions all over the place that we haven't even talked about. And it's an early season. But if you start right now in week 1 and your Heisman list changes, which it should, how do you not have Travis Hunter at the top? Because he did something we haven't seen in decades.
All right, let's talk more college football, and it means Monday Dance.
Excuse me. One thing.
Yes.
One thing. Last thing is this. If Caleb Williams ain't the #1 pick, it's because USC is giving him NIL money that will make what Reggie Bush got his Heisman taken from or taken for look like chump change. That's the only reason. Just because he's going back to get paid more money than the NFL going to pay him at USC. That's it. I'm
I
sorry.
love it.
Continue the show.
Give me your thoughts here on the season opener out of the Buckeyes.
So many things. It's impossible to talk about Ohio State without talking about Penn State and Michigan because the difference in the Big Ten East is quarterbacks right now. Kyle McCord, you nailed it. Drew Aller. I talked to James Franklin about this, and he conceded to me openly that has been a missing piece of the puzzle for them.
Sure.
This could be his best team since 2016, the last time they won the Big Ten. So that's a big deal. Then you have J.J. McCarthy at Michigan, veteran leadership. So when you're talking about Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan, Penn State looked like it could win one of those games, if not both of them, create some chaos in the Big Ten East. But I tell you what, patience, Ohio State fans, because they're going to get better. They have
No
too
doubt.
much talent not to be better.
I think the two things are, one, when was the last time that Penn State and Michigan were able to say that in relation to Ohio State? Right now, we got better quarterbacks.
Right.
Years,
Yeah.
like legit years. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago when C.J. Stroud got his first start. I believe it was on the road at Minnesota. Am I right? 2 years ago, and there was a little bit of struggle. It just felt different, though. Like, you knew it was going to come along for CJ because there was moments of highs. There wasn't really any moments of highs yesterday for Ohio State. And I think Saturday. That's got to be a little bit of like the pause and reservation is, can those two guys not only play better, can they get to the point of JJ in Michigan or a Drew Aller at Penn State, even after one game?
And we've been spoiled in Columbus when you talk about quarterback play for a long time. I mean,
Years.
all these guys have been first-round picks.
Dwayne Haskins,
Exactly.
Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud.
Right. Well, and that's been the difference between Ohio State and Michigan is Ohio State has all this young, flashy, razzle-dazzle talent. Ohio State has the J.J. McCarthys who stick around in the veteran leadership and the blue-collar offensive line that is one of the best in the country. And now you see this making Ohio State fans mad because not only is Michigan taking over the Big Ten, they are in the college football playoff too, and they are elbowing them in the national.
I don't like that taking over the Big Ten stuff. Let's pump the brakes here. There's a lot of football to be
You are
played.
Ohio State fan and a Cowboy fan?
Yes.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.